So in our previous video, we discussed the inline CSS, but in this video, we are going to talk about the internal CSS. The internal CSS is a way of adding style to more than one tag with just a command. But the inline CSS, you can apply style to only one tag at a time, just like we can see here. Now let's practicalize it. This is H4 in line 11. I also have H4 in line 12 and line 13. So let's assume we want to apply red or let's say blue color to all the foods that are listed there. So that's to say that we'll type color, put blue, right? So we'll have to come down to the next one, type color, define the property blue, the value blue. So we'll do the same thing for the last one, color blue, and it will work definitely, because if we browse, we'll definitely see blue there, right? So but if you take note, we have to type for each of them, which is inline CSS. So imagine when we have up to like 20 items here, we have to type the 20. But if we don't want to do that, instead of doing that, which will take us more time, we can do it the other way around. So now let me remove those colors here. And let's do that from with the internal CSS and see which is faster. So for me to define my internal CSS, I have to come to the head tag. So now this is the head tag. It begins from line 3 and ends the line 6. So in between the head tag, we have the title tag there already, right? I told you you can have more than one tag inside a tag. So we want to create our style tag, because for us to use internal CSS, we have to create style tag. So it automatically gave me the end tag. So inside this our style tag, which must be inside the head tag, we can then type our style. But we have to tell the program to apply our style to a particular tag, which is H4. Our intention is to apply blue color to all the content of H4. That's to the content of all H4 tag. So for us to do that, we type H4 first, because that is the tag we're applying it to. Then we'll put our curly bracket. Do you get that? So in between the curly bracket, put your cursor there, press enter, so that we can then define our style. So we're using color. So color should be blue. So now let's see how it looks like now. So see, we have blue color. We can change the color. Let's say no, we don't want blue any longer. We want green. So let's browse. So we see we have the green color. So you see the advantage of the internal CSS. So now you can apply to other tag as well. Let's look at the content, the description, the brief description of each food. If you take note, they are under paragraph tag, which is in line 18, 21, and 24. So if we want to apply color to them, currently this is their color, which is just black, including the heading, rice and stew, yam and egg, bread and tea, they are all black. So we'll apply separate color to rice and stew, maybe blue, and then we'll apply pink to the content. So let's go back, which is the brief description. So for H3, for us to apply internal CSS for H3, this one, line 6 to 8 is for H4. So we'll come down, enter, they will type H3. So let's say H3, they will put our curly bracket. So in there, we can type color. I think let's use red this time. Then for the content is P, right? But let's browse let's browse to see the result for that of the headings, which is red. So now we're applying pink to the content. So come back to our style. For the content, pink. Take note, the content in line 24, line 27, and line 30, they are all P. So we are saying that apply this to all the P paragraph. So we'll come here, in between there we'll type, let's color pink, P-I-N-K. So we have the color pink. So let's say, so we now have pink. You can change the color. We can use green. We can use any other thing, right? So any color you want to change to. But let's say we want to apply other style too, because I don't want you to think that we are restricted to applying one style at a time. No, you can apply more. You can put background. Let's say background color, right? Background color. You can put something like let's use black, or okay, black. NACK. So you can try your, you can use any one of your choice. So we have black there. Oh, it didn't apply here. That means there's error somewhere. So let's go back. Background. Oh, our background is not spelled correctly. So background color. So background color black. So seeing that, I think we now understand the internal CSS. So you can apply to more than one tag at a time. But there's something we need to take note of. Look at it this way. Now we have paragraph, like in line 27, 30, and 33, we have P. Now let's assume we want to apply color to the content of this tag. That's the brief description of each. We want to apply maybe green color to the first P, which is in line 27, and the last P, which is in line 33. And we don't want to apply in the P, which is in line 30. So now, if we say we should just use the tag reference, that means we just type P, just like we can say in line 14, it won't work. So for that to work, we now use something called class. We have class and ID, but we're going to discuss ID any other time. For that of class, it means like you are grouping more than one item into similar class. So when you apply something to that class, all the items that belongs to that class will be affected. That is the concept. But for us to work with class, you see this place after the P tag, the start tag, after the P, right? You type class equal, then you put your double quote. Now you have to define the class name. So we can use something like, you can use any name of your choice. So let's just use ABC. That's our class name. So you come here and you type class, right? Then you put double quote. Oh, our equal to before double quote, and you type the class name there to ABC. So after assigning these two, oh sorry, we made a mistake. We're not assigning H3, not H3. We're doing it for paragraph, sorry. Okay, so it's supposed to be in paragraph here. So after assigning those class, the two paragraph, excluding the middle one, after assigning them to a class, we now come to our style tag, in between our style tag. So then we have to reference the class name. So remember, when we're referencing P, H4, and the other, we just type their name directly. But for class, before you type the class name, you must type dots before A, B, C, right? And then you open your curly bracket. So here you can define. So let's say the color of the text should be green. The color of the text should be what? Green. So we'll preview and see the result. So as we can see, the color is green, but the black background there, maybe it's hiding the changes or the color. So let's remove that black background. I think we defined black background here. Yeah, let's remove the black background. So we'll preview again. Let's see. So I think this will make it more obvious. Fine. So we'll see that rice and stew, the content, the description is green. Bread and tea, the description is green. But for yam and egg, the description remain pink, right? So that is how you do. So now with this class of a thing, it's not limited to only tag with or only the same tag, right? You can assign even another tag to the same class. Now what do we mean? Our class here for ABC, in line 20, as you can see, we defined it as green, which is the content. Now let's apply it to H4 in line 28. So in line 28, we just assign h4 to that same class and see if the style defined in that class will affect h4. So we'll preview. So you see that h4, is h4 affected? Oh, h4 is already green. h4 is already green, so it may not be affected. But let us do something. Let's use, we have already assigned h4 to green initially, so we will not see the effect. But let's use something like, which color are we going to use? Violet or purple. And the text size, which is font size, should be 40 pixels. So now let's preview this time. We'll just use the abnormal figure. Fine. So you see that the content for rice and stew is affected. The text increased. That for bread and tea also increased. Then this bread and tea at the top, it's supposed to be among the list of food here: rice and stew, yam and egg, bread and tea. But this one is affected as well. The size increased and the color is what? Purple. So the point here is that you can assign different tags. You can assign different tags to one class. Hope this is clear. I try to be slow as much as possible so that everyone can grab this part.